The eyes of USL League One turn to the outskirts of Chattanooga tonight as a Red Wolves side in the midst of a very trying week hosts a red-hot Charlotte Independence squad at CHI Memorial Stadium. It's USL League One presented by Transcard on ESPN+. A pleasant good evening to you. Sam Goldfarb here. Let's take a look at the USL League One standings. Charlotte Independence just a point off the top despite a 2-0 loss at Knoxville last week. Meanwhile, Chattanooga Red Wolves just 1 point off the bottom and now in the midst of a coaching change. Jimmy Weekly beginning his second stint last week. For Chattanooga, the key player to watch, Aaron Lombardi. The player to watch presented by News 12 leads this team in chances created, and he returns to the 11 after not featuring last week. He was an unused substitute in that loss to Greenville on Wednesday. He's been grappling with the effects of a lingering knock. They've moved him a little further up the field as Chattanooga looks for a boon offensively. It's a Red Wolves side that has scored just 11 goals in the first 13 matches. Meanwhile, Tresor Mbuyu is a player who has really hit his stride lately for Charlotte. He scored in 3 consecutive matches before having a quieter night last Saturday at Knoxville. He's a player Coach Mike Jeffries said just needed to see the ball hit the back of the net. It happened there against NCFC, and he has not looked back since for Charlotte. He's going to pose a major issue for a Chattanooga side that's conceded the most goals in the league so far. Jimmy Weekly's second stint as an interim head coach didn't exactly get off to the best start earlier this week, but an opportunity to make a major statement here tonight when we return just moments away from kickoff between Chattanooga Red Wolves and Charlotte Independence next.
It's here, Ford Truck Month. Come and get the best deals on Ford F-150. The only truck to offer available Pro Power onboard and an interior work surface so you can get it all done. All part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck 46 years straight and counting. Get 2.9 for 60 plus up to $2,500 with eligible trade-in. Learn more about pickup and delivery and remote service at your local Ford dealer.
The future is in these foothills. The world's fastest internet from EPB is in homes from Hickson to Highland Park. In classrooms from East Lake to East Brainerd. And in reach of those striving to learn more, be more, achieve more. The future is here with fiber optic speeds up to 25 gigs, only from EPB.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
There's a beat in all of us. It drives us, it inspires us, and it pushes us through. It is there in preparation, it is there in battle, it is there in defeat and success. It's the engine, it's our guide. And this beat is my own. This beat is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water, hydration for athletes.
Shirts worn by the Walkout Kids tonight are brought to you by Brainerd Baptist School, expanding minds, preparing hearts. Just about set for kickoff between Chattanooga Red Wolves and Charlotte Independence here from CHI Memorial Stadium. It's the second meeting this year between these two sides. Let's take a quick flashback to Week 11, the first time these two teams met in Charlotte. It was a 3-0 victory for the Independents, and Joel Johnson got Charlotte off to a fast start in the 15th minute. An absolute banger outside the box. Omar Sis one-upped him 6 minutes later from a set piece. A nice little Cristiano Ronaldo celebration in the process. And then in the 66th minute, Tresor Mbuyu scored for what was then his second consecutive match. through on goal after the miscue, put it home past Ricardo Jerez, and that did the job for Charlotte. Today's starting 11 is brought to you by Center for Sport Medicine and Orthopedics, the official sports medical group of the Chattanooga Red Wolves, because life happens in motion. Here's Jimmy Weekley's second 11 in his second stint. A lot of changes. They're back to 4 at the back, and Aaron Lombardi moved up to left attacking mid, a player Coach Weekley says he was going to deploy further up the field to try to test Charlotte, give him a new look. For Charlotte, a few changes as well, but still in their usual 4-2-3-1. Dane Kelly returns leading the line. Tresor and Mbuyu back on the wing. The big absence, though, is Brad Dunwell. Not listed on the injury report, but not in the 18 either, as you see Joel Johnson and Omar Sis slot into those holding midfield roles. The back line pretty standard, and of course Austin Pack between the sticks, the best keeper so far this season in USL League One. Just about set for kickoff. Charlotte in the white and blue strip, Chattanooga in their usual red and white. And here we go from CHI Memorial Stadium. Independence looking for their 4th win in the last 5. Chattanooga looking to avoid going 1 win in their last 9. A Red Wolves side that has not enjoyed the ideal start to the campaign. And of course, made that coaching change on Tuesday night. Here's Nico Cardona, back after his stint on international duty with Puerto Rico. It's a Chattanooga side that, as we mentioned, 1 win in their last 8 at the moment. And on Tuesday, ahead of that road match in Paladin Stadium at Greenville, a coaching change made. Jimmy Weekley once again appointed interim head coach for the 2nd consecutive year after Ziggy Koratowski was dismissed. Chattanooga side that, after reaching the USL League One final a season ago, expects to be competitive and making that change. For Charlotte, it was 3 wins on the trot prior to that 2-0 defeat at 1 Knoxville. And speaking to Mike Jeffries about that, he said he felt like they didn't really show that sharpness in the final third. It was a familiar issue that has reared its head this season for the Independents. Looking for a bit more cutting edge here tonight. And an early corner kick won by Mbuyu. Sis will take it. Set pieces have been an issue defensively for Chattanooga. 2 of the 5 goals that found their way into the back of the net on Wednesday came from a set piece, as did one of Lexington's goals last Wednesday. Ball pings its way out to Clay Dimmick in his 5th season in Charlotte. Now Mbuyu looks for Flanagan, who's got room. And the flag may have been raised on the near side anyways. For Chattanooga, it looked like perhaps they had found a lifeline going forward. A 2-0 victory over a forward Madison side that rarely concedes multiple goals on June 7th. But since then, it's been 2 defeats in a row, one of which was a 2-0 defeat in Georgetown at Lexington on June 14th, and of course the 5-1 thrashing at the hands of Greenville in Jimmy Weekley's first match in charge. Still getting used to his personnel, he says. Only 4 players who played 1,000 minutes or more last season are back, so it's definitely a new look even for Coach Weekley, who led this side to the final in USL League One a year ago. Here is Liboria. Mentioning a couple changes for Charlotte, one of which was formationally a little bit, but also Ryan JJ, a new signing who featured for just 2 minutes last week. A 21-year-old is in the 11 as well. Number 21 in white on your screen. It's a lot of proven pedigree. Played in the Mets Youth Academy, also part of a Belgian Premier League squad a year ago. Here's Walefi. Now out wide for Riley Kraft, who's converted into more of a fullback these last couple weeks. Lombardi. Looking for support, and it goes back to Enriquez, making his first start since April 1st. Kraft has some room. Kraft tries one and narrowly skews beyond the near post. Gave Austin Pack something to consider, but ultimately it looked like he had it covered. Here's the replay presented by Rodriguez Family Dentistry. You see the half volley had decent dip to it, but it was always going to take something special from there to beat the league's top shot stopper. Early on, though, good initiative from Chattanooga. Coach Weekly did rave about his side's response to the news. He said, in training, they've responded well, and they're motivated to get results for this club. Maybe wasn't reflected in that scoreline at Greenville, but of course, that's a Greenville side that leads the league in scoring, and Chattanooga, a side gutted by injury, also had key players on international duty. It wasn't quite an appropriate reading of this squad. Kraft and Lombardi on the miscommunication. For Chattanooga, the injury bug has been one of the biggest stories. Before that match against Lexington, 5 players were ruled out, and that's not including the questionables and probables. Here tonight, Renteria still out of the 11. He was beginning to carve out a role at center back. Cardona just returning from international duty. And Christian Enriquez and Mo Espinosa still adjusting to life in the 11. This is Enriquez's first start since April, and he's a player Coach Weekly said he wants to rely on more. Key playmaker at Madison a season ago. Here's Ropapa Mensah. The captain, Walefi, the longest tenured Red Wolves player. Just joining us, we'd like to thank you for tuning in on ESPN+. It's a Charlotte Independent side that has begun to hit its stride lately despite that defeat last weekend. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga, going to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and make a push towards the playoff cut line, which suddenly seems a decent ways away. This is Avion Flanagan. For Charlotte this season, goals haven't exactly flown naturally. Although prior to being held scoreless last weekend, they had scored 8 in the prior 3 contests. It looked like they were beginning to figure things out in the final third, but Coach Jeffrey says just felt like that performance in the final third last weekend was a little frustrating, and he did lament how conceding the penalty that allowed Knoxville to double their advantage in the 51st really eliminated any chance they felt they had to get back into the match. Did feel like that first half performance wasn't necessarily inspired, but said apart from, of course, the Frank Ross super hit from about 25 yards, it would have been 0-0 at halftime. He just felt like in those 6 minutes prior to conceding the penalty, not enough occurred for them in possession to neutralize that deficit. Kraft has been involved here early. And Mikhail Williams, the former Pittsburgh Riverhound. Lombardi. Pushes wide for Kraft. So far, this response from Chattanooga has been very promising. Kraft and Lombardi about a ball away from really troubling Austin Pack there. This is something Coach Mike Jeffries of Charlotte expected. He said, new coach coming off that brutal defeat at home in front of your fans, he expects them to take the fight to his squad early. And that's exactly what Chattanooga has done in the opening 10 minutes or so. For this Charlotte side, which prides itself on defensive solidity and organization, isn't going to wither in the face of that pressure. Here's Dimmick. For Charlotte, they're in the midst of a 4-match road trip, and it is by no means routine. They go to North Carolina on June 30th in their next match. Dogwood Derby on the road, but first they've got to get past a Chattanooga side, which has looked very game early. Coach Jeffries has trotted out in an 11, expecting a fight for the full 90.
Concessions tonight are brought to you by Coca-Cola, the exclusive beverage partner of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Quench your thirst with a Coca-Cola beverage. Together, it tastes better.
Charlotte driving forward through Mbuyu. Now Ibarra! And Aviles may have gotten a palm to it. Excellent work by the 24-year-old to keep Chattanooga level. You see this lightning quick break. Mbuyu with the cutback. Ibarra, point-blank effort. And it's right at Aviles, who knocks it out for a corner. Charlotte's second corner of the match. And Flanagan to take. Cross to the near post. Mensah with issues, booting out of trouble. Coca-Cola, the exclusive soft drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. If you're just joining us, we'd like to thank you for tuning in here on ESPN Plus. Quarter of an hour gone here from Chattanooga, Tennessee. No score. Chattanooga's been the side with the bulk of possession, but moments ago, Miguel Ibarra denied on the doorstep. That's where we sit in a match that's unfolded quite intriguing fashion compared to its predecessor a month ago. Kraft looks for options. The cross finds its way back to Williams. Cardona. He's been a busy man this week as well. Multiple games on international duty with Puerto Rico. Club fell in the prelims of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Ibarra finds Johnson, and he opens the scoring. Joel Johnson against Chattanooga again. And Charlotte, against the grain of play, has the opener. A 5-star counter, and the visitors in front.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A goal has been scored by Charlotte Independence SC.
You just see Ibarra pick this up, and nobody closes him down. You see the center backs caught between two minds. Joel Johnson takes the space and blasts it into the top right corner. And it all starts with Miguel Ibarra, the former MLS man, feeds Johnson, and he won't have a more wide open goal than that. Charlotte's all-time appearances leader breaks the deadlock here early in the first. Johnson's third goal of the year. Scored the opener at virtually the exact same point in the first match between these two sides in Charlotte. Has emerged as one of the top chance creators in all of USL League One. And stamps his imprint on this one in the 15th. Years old, a native of Spain, grew up in the Valencia Youth Academy, made his senior debut at 17 years of age before eventually moving to the States in his second stint and 7th season with Charlotte. A tough break for Chattanooga in the early stages, but Espinosa winning a free kick for the home side. Decent delivery. Not quite enough mustard to reach Niklaw, but it goes out for the first Ford Dealers Association corner kick of the night for the Red Wolves. Espinosa gets underneath this well, and Spielman has to take no chances on the clearance. This Chattanooga side has had its bright moments from corners this season. Christian Enriquez to deliver. To the near post. Ventures back to Cardona. Cleared only as far as Enriquez. Kraft has some room. Riley Kraft. Yet another Ford Dealers Association corner kick.
Stand up and make some noise, Red Wolves fans. This Ford corner kick is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, official sponsor of the Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Here's a man who's played in some sensational deliveries over the years for Chattanooga. Espinosa's in swing. Finds its way to the heart of the area. And Williams may have gotten underneath it a bit much. This has good whip to it. It is Mikhail Williams who gets a touch. Just unable to keep it down in test pack. Looking long for the goal scorer, Johnson. And Charlotte beginning to apply that press a bit more forcefully. Body Armor, the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. If you're just joining us, 20 minutes gone here from CHI Memorial Stadium. Joel Johnson broke the deadlock in the 15th minute, much like he did a month ago at American Legion Memorial Stadium when these two teams first met on May 27th. That wound up being a 3-0 victory to Charlotte, one which was pretty dominant all the way through for the Jags. Here thus far, Chattanooga's enjoyed the bulk of the ball, but a couple counters have kept them on their heels, including one that yielded the opener. See those numbers on your screen. That's factoring in heightened possession since the goal for Charlotte. Espinosa comes deep to claim and loses out to Dane Kelly. And Buyu flops flanks to the right side. Ibarra links well with Flanagan. And runs out of real estate on the far side.
Body Armor is the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves.
This is a Chattanooga side that, despite all of the changes that have transpired this week, they are in very good hands in Jimmy Weekly, who has already proven himself as an interim head coach a season ago. He does say, though, there is a different challenge at bay here. He says he doesn't know a lot of the guys on this roster. Of course, Jimmy Weekly this offseason took time away from the team, went on vacation with his family, and didn't come back to the club until late April. So he's still getting to know all the personnel on this side, and it is a Chattanooga squad that looks very different from the one he headed up in the second half of the year last season. Of course, Rafa Mensigan now making his trade at NCFC, off to a great start in his campaign, and also the leading goal scorer from a season ago in Juan Galindrez is playing in the USL Championship. So a lot of turnover and still trying to figure out the right places to deploy a lot of his key playmakers. Liborio is one of those newcomers. A little overzealous on that challenge and perhaps lucky to get away without a card. Well, JJ initiated the contact. Chattanooga fans not thrilled it went against their man. But when we speak about Jimmy Weekly and what he's done for this club in his short tenure on the coaching staff, it's been very impressive. Led this Chattanooga side to that upset victory over the regular season champion Richmond Kickers last year, to book that date with Tormenta in Statesboro. They just came up short. It was 1-1 late, allowing that late winner in the 81st minute. Coach Weekly's done it at every level, of course. Was more of a member of the technical staff when he joined Chattanooga Red Wolves in 2019. But coached in the NPSL with Chattanooga FC and also built up one of the best private school programs in the country in Chattanooga for about 15 years. From the late 90s through the mid 2010s. Dane Kelly on the far side, looking across for Dimmick. And Mbuyu once again just running out of real estate along the touchline. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Just got your look moments ago at Mike Jeffries for Charlotte Independence in his 5th year at the helm for this squad. He's been with the club effectively since its inception as the coach and general manager. Had a brief stint as just a member of the front office in 2019, but has since returned, and every year it seems like this Charlotte Independence squad is competitive. This season no different, after reaching the playoffs as the final team into the postseason in 2022. Both these teams fell to that Tormenta buzzsaw in the postseason. For Charlotte, it was in the quarterfinals. Of course, Chattanooga, it was for all the marbles. When you speak to Mike Jeffries about this year's squad, seems very confident about his personnel. Asked him about competing atop the table, and one of the first things he said was, it's not something we talk about every week because we feel we know internally we can compete with anyone. As Ryan JJ is the first man in the book for either side. Just see here, rushing to catch up with Espinosa, lost his footing, and he pays the price for it. As that is the first Tennessee Highway safety yellow card of the night. First action is a booking. Espinosa's free kick finds its way into the area, and Lombardi was a man unmarked for a brief moment. Let's take another look at this. This looked awfully close to potentially threatening Austin Pack. Lombardi just skewed it off the wrong side of his head. A heart and throat moment there for Charlotte defensively, a rare lapse. For now, still clinging on to that 1-goal advantage. Mensa comes deep to claim, the former Nashville SC star. Getting him involved almost feels imperative for Chattanooga. Rapapa Mensa, their leading goal scorer, player who wreaked havoc against Madison, had a direct hand in both goals in that contest, also scored a huge goal against Omaha a month ago here at CHI Memorial Stadium to level the scoreline. Sometimes, though, it feels like he can be left on an island. Liborio surveys for options. Enriquez. And Ibarra picks it up. It's been directing traffic on the counter all day. Now finds Mbuyu. May have underweighted the pass to Johnson just a tad. Here's your look at the 24-year-old goalkeeper, Carlos Aviles. His second year with Chattanooga Red Wolves, became the regular starter a season ago, has since fallen behind Ricardo Jerez in the pecking order, but with Jerez on international duty as a Guatemalan international, Aviles has gotten the nod now the last few matches. Coach Jimmy Weekly feels a lot of the goals haven't really been his responsibility. He thinks the back line hasn't exactly prevented key opportunities from materializing, and that's been the biggest reason for a lot of the goals that have flown in. Johnson's cross. And Mbuyu now. And he has won a corner. Check out the new 2023 Chattanooga Red Wolves kit along with t-shirts, scarves, novelty items, and much more at ChattanoogaRedWolves-SC.com. Charlotte's third corner of the night as Flanagan prepares the in-swinger. Looks to the back stick, and the header just floats wide from Dane Kelly.
Your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor.
It was Shalom Duty who got contact on it.
Now let's defend the day.
We'll run it back one more time from the corner flag. This one taken short for Johnson. Makes its way back out to Sis. Ibarra. We'll see if third time's the charm for the Jacks. High archer to the back post. And that time, Duty unable to find a teammate. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023. Whether your club is on the road or at home, catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to the USL La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Just over half an hour gone here from Chattanooga, Tennessee. It has been a hectic week for the Red Wolves. Have put forth a decent effort, but have just been missing that final bit of cutting edge in the final third, and a moment of brilliance on the counter from Charlotte is what separates these two sides. Take another look at that foul. Pretty routine. Omar Sis always seems to be in the middle of a lot of those challenges. That's the way he plays. A deep line playmaker that does so well to win the ball back. And with that, sometimes you subject yourself to an extra card or two. That man, Austin Pack, has not had the busiest half between the sticks, despite Charlotte not possessing it considerably much. Entered tonight, the league's leader in saves and clean sheets. Well and truly in the Golden Glove race as well in his first season as Charlotte's lead man. Felipe Liborio. And Flanagan may have made contact with his hand there. Liborio trying to switch the play. Yep, unnatural position. Don't know if it warrants a card, but it certainly commands a free kick. And Espinosa's had a couple enticing deliveries from pretty much this exact spot multiple times tonight. Stood up, and it exits play for a Ford Dealers Association corner kick. Ford, the official domestic car partner of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Big moment here for Chattanooga as they look to manufacture a couple shots on Austin Pack's goal. Enriquez is in swinger. That draws a punch from Pack. And Flanagan will usher out a danger. Now has some green grass ahead. Still Flanagan. JJ finishes. Charlotte doubles their advantage, and it's the new signing, JJ. Once again on the counter for Charlotte. And you just take another look at this. This is sensational. Flanagan off to the races. Routine cutback. Ryan JJ, in his first start for the club, puts it in the top corner. He was signed just 8 days ago, and he makes an immediate impact for the visitors. When the signing was announced, Mike Jeffries raved about his athleticism and his knowledge for the game. That time flashing his IQ, sets himself up in the perfect cutback position and had acres of goal to work with there. You could hear a pin drop right now at CHI Memorial Stadium. That came from a Chattanooga corner kick. One clearance, Flanagan was off to the races, and Ryan JJ put himself in the perfect position to notch his first professional goal. Now the giveaway from JJ. Here's Mensah. Lead official unmoved by that challenge. And Mbuyu. Game opening up once more for Charlotte. Here's Kelly. Not a bad idea. Just got underneath it a bit much. USL's all-time leading goal scorer trying to get in on the party before halftime. This is Lombardi. Twists beyond Dimmick. And finds Kraft on the overlap. Decent cross! Enriquez narrowly missing the far post. Best opportunity of the match to date for Chattanooga. Lombardi directing traffic. Pinpoint cross from Kraft. Enriquez just narrowly missing that left post. Charlotte's had a couple men unmarked in the box. They haven't paid either time, though. Well, I'm sure Jimmy Winkley won't be thrilled with the scoreline so far. His side's definitely taken the fight to Charlotte, but burned twice on the counter. He'll certainly have some tactical tweaks to make at the intermission. Johnson looking for more, though, before the break. Mbuyu to the byline. Mbuyu with a shot, and it's right at Aviles. But JJ intercepts. Mbuyu will win the set piece. No direct goal contributions yet for the 26-year-old, but Tresor Mbuyu has been very impactful here in this opening 45 minutes. JJ. Now Ibarra. Approaching halftime, and Charlotte beginning to flow with confidence. Now Liborio's got some room. Hearing word it'll be 2 minutes of added time. Feels imperative for Chattanooga to manufacture a chance or two before the break. Psychologically, it has not felt like a 2-0, but here we are. They'll have an opportunity from the corner flag.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated that there will
Yet another Ford Dealers Association corner kick for the Red Wolves. And Espinosa is the man who makes his way over there. Perhaps time for one or two more crosses into the 18. In-swinger from Espinosa, tight on pack, and it draws the whistle. Calling Pack in action more, but Cardona ran right into him. No questions there from the official. And the league's top shot stopper looking to shake off that knock. For Charlotte, this is the response Mike Jeffries would have been hoping for after a defeat at Knoxville, in which he felt they didn't exude enough sharpness in the final third. Here tonight, 2 corners, 2 goals, 2 counters, 2 goals. Here's Ibarra. Now Dane Kelly. Cleared only as far as Johnson. Referee's whistle sounds. A half where Chattanooga had large shares of the ball, but Charlotte, with 2 standout moments on the counterattack, puts them in front. Goals from Joel Johnson and the new man Ryan JJ make the difference after 45 minutes. It's the halftime show presented by Outlaw Beer. We'll step aside here for the halftime show. Charlotte, a very solid performance here after 45.
I need to try it first.
It's here, Ford Truck Month. Come and get the best deals on Ford F-150. The only truck to offer available Pro Power onboard and an interior work surface so you can get it all done. All part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck 46 years straight and counting. Get 2.9 for 60 plus up to 2,500 with eligible trade-in. Learn more about pickup and delivery and remote service at your local Ford dealer.
Wise men say only fools rush in.
I need to try it first.
Halftime here as you see the sights of downtown Chattanooga. A 2-0 lead for Charlotte Independence after 45 minutes. It was a busy midweek in USL League One. Phil Galati has more on the highlights.
And finally, the MVP of the boys.
Let's start the week on Wednesday, Greenville and Chattanooga. This one was an absolute thriller, and the party started early too. Liam McKinnon in the 9th minute picked that one out off the corner. First goal puts Greenville up 1-0. And oh, by the way, you're going to hear his name a couple more times. He set a new record for his club, but not before Chattanooga tried to get things back. That's an unfortunate one for Nate Schultz, and it's the first goal that Chattanooga has scored at Greenville. Not the prettiest, but it didn't matter because Greenville weren't done. Liam McKinnon again make that 2-1 just 6 minutes later in the 17th. We'll add on another 5 minutes to complete the hat trick for who else but McKinnon again. Patient at the back post and another really good volley low into that corner. 3-1 at the half in favor of Greenville, but number 9 wasn't done. Another chance for the Triumph. Going forward, takes it down beautifully. One more touch. 4-1 in favor of Greenville and 4 goals for Liam McKinnon, the first player to do so in League One history. Not often you get to say that, huh? And by the way, they weren't done. Make it 5-1, 77th minute, Leonardo Castro to capture all 3 points for Greenville. We move ahead now to Werner Park, Union Omaha, and 1 Knoxville. Not as much scoring in this one, but no less exciting. How about Noah Mesa from the free kick over the wall, low to the keeper's right-hand side. That's his 7th of the season, now alone at 2nd place in the Golden Boot standings. But this one was far from over. 1 Knoxville in stoppage time. Seba Andreasen draws the penalty from the corner, goes down in the 6-yard area, and the referee didn't hesitate to point to the spot. Upsets Ilya Illich and converts for his 2nd goal of the season. The points are shared, and that's the 7th draw for the Owls this season. They lead the league in that category. Had some couple looks at the end, but in the end, the points would be shared. Tough one on the road, but there's still one more game to get to. That's Forward Madison and Lexington. The scoring started early in this one, too. A lot of early goals in the midweek, courtesy of Nazim Bartman. Cross to the top of the key, and then how about the little back heel assist? Lovely vision, and pick that one out. Side foot finish, low to the corner, unstoppable. They would double the lead in the 35th minute. Set piece in the area, bouncing around, begging for a clearance. It wouldn't be provided. Jake Kroll instead makes it 2-0 to the Flamingos. Just 3 minutes later, though, Lexington would shoot back. How about Nico Brown? Through 4 defenders, picks out the top left corner. Let's see that one again. Takes his time, sets his feet, bam! Not going to stop that. Game far from over, though. In the first half, far from over, too. Christian Cheney in the 43rd minute, able to pick off a bad touch from the defender. One-on-one. What's he going to do? Oh, you already know. Slots it away. Make that 3-1 Forward Madison. The Flamingos are loving it up at the break. But again, more late drama in USL League One midweek action. Nico Brown, keep an eye out for him. Takes the ball down, couple step overs, fires with the left, low to the keeper's left-hand side, beaten at the near post. Well, with a strike like that, it's hard to complain. But check this out, a red card at the end as tempers flared in the 64th minute. Mauro Cicero with a bit of a kick out and got his marching orders. It wouldn't change the result, though. 3-2 in favor of Forward Madison, who keep all 3 points, tying for the most first half goals in club history. We'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer, bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang out, okay? What your name, sir? Where you are right now?
I need to try it first.
Let's take a look at the news and notes around USL League One. How about Liam McKinnon for Greenville Triumph, the first player in league history with 4 goals against a Chattanooga side that was under the first match of Jimmy Wheatley's second stint. Yes, that's the second bit of news. Ziggy Koratowski dismissed on Tuesday, and Jimmy Wheatley took over. And, of course, the player of the week, Lexington's Tate Robertson, selected for that. As you see the team of the week on your screen, no standouts from this match, but Robertson was absolutely sensational last week. Had a goal and an assist, created numerous chances. Also some other standouts as well. Garrett McLaughlin for NCFC has been terrific all year. He scored against Lexington on Sunday. Let's take a look at some of the scores around USL League One. On your screen at the moment, Richmond a 1-0 advantage over 1 Knoxville. Emiliano Terzaghi reached 50 goals, the first USL League One player to hit that milestone. Meanwhile, of course, Greenville defeating Chattanooga 5-1. Other matches around the league, Madison a 5-goal thriller, 3-2 victory over Lexington on Thursday to snap that 5-match unbeaten run. As we take a look at the upcoming schedule, a busy week throughout USL League One. Northern Colorado looking to continue their red-hot spurt against Central Valley, and then next weekend, the Dogwood Derby on Friday at WakeMed in Raleigh. We're going to step aside here on ESPN+. Halftime show continues next.
I need to try it first.
The future is in these foothills. The world's fastest internet from EPB is in homes from Hickson to Highland Park. In classrooms from East Lake to East Brainerd. And in reach of those striving to learn more, be more. achieve more. The future is here with fiber optic speeds up to 25 gigs, only from EPB.
There's a beat in all of us. It drives us, it inspires us, and it pushes us through. It is there in preparation, it is there in battle, it is there in defeat, and in success. It's the engine, it's our guide. And this beat is my own. This beat is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water, hydration for athletes.
It's here, Ford Truck Month. Come and get the best deals on Ford F-150. The only truck to offer available Pro Power onboard and an interior work surface so you can get it all done. All part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling truck 46 years straight and counting. Get 2.9 for 60 plus up to $2,500 with eligible trade-in. Learn more about pickup and delivery and remote service at your local Ford dealer.
I need to try it first.
Welcome back to CHI Memorial Stadium. It's the halftime show presented by Outlaw Beer. A 2-0 advantage for the visiting Charlotte Independents against a Chattanooga side desperate to get back in the win column. Let's take a look at some of the standout moments from that first half, one which Chattanooga had the bulk of possession, but Charlotte the major chances. We pick it up in the 15th on the counterattack. Miguel Ibarra directing traffic. He still got it. Finds Joel Johnson for a banger. Top corner, second time Johnson has opened the scoring against Chattanooga this year. You take another look. Perfectly executed, great finish. Nobody closes down either man. And Charlotte was the team on the board first. Then later on in the first half, 39th minute, Charlotte would double their advantage. It came from a Chattanooga corner kick. Austin Pack's punch finds its way all the way out to Omar Sis, and then Avion Flanagan off to the races. Drops the shoulder, runs practically the length of the field, and then when he gets to the byline, cuts it back to the new signing, Ryan JJ. Double Charlotte's advantage, and that's where we stand after 45 minutes. Let's take a look at some of the stats from that first half. You see Charlotte, the bulk of the shots, the only team to find the target with any of their shots, but Chattanooga, a 60-40 possession split. The issue for Chattanooga has been venturing into the final third. Not a lot going on there for the home side. Just about set for the start of the second half. Presented by Rodriguez Family Dentistry. It's 2-0 Charlotte Independents. No known changes either way. Chattanooga with work to do if they hope to erase this. There is one new man added to the mix. It is Pedro Hernandez. So he will join the action for Chattanooga. A 23-year-old from Cal State Monterey Bay. He's made 4 starts this year, played over 300 minutes. His 10th consecutive feature, most of them have come as a substitute. Lombardi's cross. Cleared only as far as Espinosa. Now Espinosa tries. Not quite enough to get Pack's attention. Here's another look. Espinosa trying to find Enriquez with his head. Takes it up himself. Looked like Pack would have had it covered anyways. So Hernandez, the new man in the fray. More known as a center midfielder, but can also play on the flanks. Was a monster at the college level. Logged Cal State Monterey Bay's 3rd ever hat trick in program history as a senior. That was a year in which he scored 10 goals and added 6 helpers. We've discussed some of the attacking issues for new interim man, who scored the 5th most single-season goals in a USL League One campaign for Greenville 2 years ago. Joined the mix. Still waiting international processing on that, but he's going to be a major feature in the lineup for the Red Wolves going forward. Here's Enriquez. And it may have taken a deflection in the process. And that's been the biggest story with Chattanooga all year. It was something Coach Koratowski vented about, and also Coach Wigley echoed that sentiment to some degree on the phone this week. Haven't really had a truly healthy stable of players to work with all season. Of course, we mentioned 5 men ruled out before last week's tilt with Lexington. Hasn't really changed. The only man back has been Cardona due to the return of international duty. Here's Hernandez, and Flanagan catches up to him quite well. Go out of play for a Ford Dealers Association corner kick. And ultimately, corner decision may have been overturned. Now some extracurriculars off the ball. Mensah clearly displeased to some degree with the decision. So the official change is a very attack-minded one at that. It's Pedro Hernandez replacing Travis Nicklaw, the center back. So Chattanooga may have just switched to 3 at the back, which is a formation they were contemplating employing entering tonight. Of course. Also another change, Andrew Paoli is due to replace Walefi. And he's done that now. Paoli, another man who's just getting healthy for Chattanooga. Just his 8th appearance of the year, missed 6 straight contests due to injury before featuring in the last 2. He's more known as a deep-lying playmaker. So 2 very attack-minded swaps as a center back and a CDM make way for the Red Wolves. Here's Kraft. He was probably the most involved Chattanooga player in that first half. Got a little bit too much whip on that cross. Paoli joined from Bay City's FC on March 15th. Had 1 goal and 7 appearances there. Also spent 5 years at UCLA, one of the top programs in the Pac-12. Pack has drawn the ire of the official for time wasting.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A caution has been issued by the referee to Charlotte and
Yellow card to Pack. The second Tennessee Highway safety yellow card issued to Charlotte tonight.
By the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, designating a sober driver is the winning play.
Kelly in a wrestling match with Cardona and wins the set piece for the Independents. Set piece defense has been pretty solid for Chattanooga today, after grappling with some issues defensively against Greenville there. Here's Johnson. It has been a business-like performance for Charlotte. Happy to cede possession They've wreaked havoc on the counter, and they've shown that cutting edge that Coach Jeffries felt they lacked in similar situations a week ago. Now Chattanooga looking to hit back. Kraft has some room to deliver this. Goes to the back post, and Austin Pack read it like a book. Check out the new 2023 Chattanooga Red Wolves kit along with t-shirts, scarves, novelty items, and much more at ChattanoogaRedWolves-SC.com. Lovely looking home kits tonight for the Red Wolves. There's a miscue between what looks to be Duty and Flanagan. And both have come off a little worse for wear. That is the last sight you want to see if you're an Independence supporter. These two have been mainstays on the back line of late. Both going for the header. Both taking a whack in the process. Duty has started every match for Charlotte this season. A mainstay defensively. Seems to be good to continue. Kraft looking to find Enriquez on the long ball. And the two just clatter right into each other. Flanagan is still down, as is Duty. Not a Charlotte side with a ton of center back depth, oddly enough. A lot of fullbacks. Seeing two of your key men on the back line down is not an ideal sight for the away support. Kraft just awaiting the official signal, as Shalom Duty now will be aided off the pitch by the physio. For the time being, Charlotte will be playing with 10. Well, Mike Jeffries certainly doesn't seem thrilled about what just transpired. Of course, a coach that builds his philosophy on defensive solidity. That's been the Independence's hallmark the last couple seasons. Certainly has been this year. The second best defense in the league. Shalom Duty's been a big part of that. No look long for Dane Kelly, who makes his way to the corner flag. And now back in the thick of the action. Lombardi surges ahead for Enriquez. His cross, and it draws Pack's first set of gloves today. Will go out for a local Ford Dealers Association corner kick. Promising opportunity. Starts from the feet of Espinosa. Flick on header from Lombardi. Forces Pack to dive to his right. Does just enough to keep Charlotte off, or Chattanooga off the score sheet rather. Local Ford Dealer Association corner kick. Ford, the official domestic car partner of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Espinosa to deliver, and suddenly new energy in this building here. Lombardi unable to put it on target at the second time of asking, though.
Concessions for tonight's game are brought to you by Coca-Cola, the exclusive beverage partner of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Quench your thirst with a Coca-Cola beverage. Together, tastes better.
Charlotte is now back to full strength. It appears the collision between Flanagan and Duty has not left either out of this match. Espinosa. Low cross. Finds its way to Mensah. And once again, that Charlotte back line taking the sting out of it. Lombardi. Now for Ropapa Mensah, trying to impose his will on this match after a quiet first. This looks long for Dane Kelly, the USL Championship's all-time leading goal scorer in his third stint with this Charlotte Independence squad. Scored over 100 career goals in the professional ranks. Hasn't logged a goal contribution since early May, but he's a player Coach Jeffrey says leads the line very well for Charlotte. His mere presence definitely opens up runners on the flanks. Espinosa's cross finds its way to Tresor and Mbuyu. And now here's Sis. Has some white shirts ahead. And ultimately, Mbuyu unable to thread it through to Ibarra. Approaching the hour mark here on ESPN+. Chattanooga's been pushing forward in the opening quarter of an hour of this second half. Haven't really troubled Pack yet. Espinosa looking to change that. Paoli. Now Lombardi. The Argentine native. Riley Kraft's cross to the near post and headed home. Pedro Hernandez pulls one back for Chattanooga. The substitute pays dividends for Jimmy Weekly's side, and Chattanooga with a lifeline. Kraft has been so involved all day. Terrific cross. Nobody picks up the substitute Hernandez. And the Red Wolves within a goal now. Textbook. And before Shalom Duty and company could recover, Pedro Hernandez was an open man with acres of space. Hernandez's first goal of the season, his third in a Chattanooga kit. And game on here from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And suddenly that will force Mike Jeffries to make a triple substitution.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a trio
Corey Bennett,
by the Charlotte Independence
who is last season's joint top scorer, replaces Dane Kelly on the front line. Gabriel Oberton will also slide into the 11 as well. And Fabrice Ngaha replaces Tresor and Mbuyu. triple change immediately following Pedro Hernandez's first of the year. We mentioned his propensity to score at the college level. Also had 2 goals and 11 appearances last season in his debut campaign for Chattanooga. And now has the wind in his sails a bit. Bit of a heavy touch though. We've spoken so much though about Tracer and Mbuyu's resurgence for Charlotte. Corey Bennett is a man enjoying a similar trajectory this year. Also has 3 goals to his name. Has scored twice in the last 4 as well, including the game winner in the Dogwood Derby on May 21st. He's a man who was top 10 in the league in goals, alongside Mbuyu with 11. And Mike Jeffries has been so impressed with his consistency this year. Makes the right runs, always seems to cause danger, and now has begun to find the back of the net a bit more. Here's Gabriel Oberton, the former Man United man, for Flanagan. Cross finds its way to Enriquez. No trouble there for JJ. That stat on your screen is pretty telling. We mentioned the possession disparity. Chattanooga with 30 more final third entries than Charlotte. And that just speaks to the efficiency in front of goal for the visitors. It's been 2 counters, 2 goals for them tonight. Meanwhile, for Chattanooga, they've gotten to the final third a lot, but things have started to stagnate when they've gotten there. Johnson finds Dimmick on the underlap, and he'll win a corner for the visitors.
Your local floor dealer, proud sponsor of this corner kick and the official sponsor of your Chattanooga Red Wolves. Now let's defend the Den Red Wolves!
Flanagan makes his way over to the far side. And now some considerable size on the pitch. Bennett is 6-footer. Gabriel Oberton 6'1" as well. Got some targets to aim at in the 18. In-swinger from Flanagan makes its way to Spielman. And it'll go out of play for a goal kick. Well, if you're just joining us, some added intrigue surrounding this match as Omar Gomez prepares to be the 3rd Chattanooga substitute today.
66th minute of the game. Entering the game, number 17, Omar Gomez, and exiting the game, number 13, Felipe.
Charlotte scored 2 in the first half, but Pedro Hernandez, a substitute, clawed one back in the 61st. And suddenly, Charlotte fans sweating a little more. Gomez, a man who spent last season in MLS Next Pro with Colorado Rapids B team. Also a product of Park City Red Wolves in USL League Two. One of 2 Chattanooga Red Wolves reserve sides.
Body Armor is the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Here is Lombardi. Charlotte, a little more aggressive pressure. Here's Gomez. It's ahead for the goal scorer Hernandez, and Ngaha wins the foot race. Ngaha, left back by trade, made his Cameroonian national team debut just shortly after his 18th birthday. Mensah picks up the loose change, and here's a whistle against Charlotte. Lead official Alexander Zeliaskov still trying to work out the kinks. Ultimately a free kick for the Independents. Decent turnout tonight. 2,670 in attendance here at CHI Memorial Stadium. One of the first soccer-specific stadiums in the state of Tennessee. It's been a terrific addition to the community here, and they generally turn out some pretty quality support. Oberton lets it roll for Flanagan. Oberton's story has been relatively interesting for Charlotte this year. Was a regular starter early on, has since morphed into a substitute role since returning from injury. But his quality you can't doubt. Won a Premier League with Man United, played with Newcastle for 5 seasons as well. Flanagan finds Johnson, and it will ultimately deflect back to Aviles without too much trouble. Flanagan's been very involved here tonight. Just scuffed that cross, and Johnson would have to pull off a superhuman effort to slide that through. Hernandez finds Enriquez going the other way. So Oberton ultimately replaced Miguel Ibarra. So playmaker for playmaker change. It seems to be largely like for like, with the exception of Mbuyu being replaced by a fullback. Here is Oberton. For Sis. Dimmick's cross looking for Bennett, and may have drifted him a bit wide on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's match attendance is 2,670.
Here's another look. Dimmick's cross, trying to direct Bennett to the back post. He's just unable to get himself in position in time.
Transfer's logo is featured across the front of the home and away kits worn by the Chattanooga Red Wolves. The Chattanooga Red Wolves family section is brought to you by Sunny 92.
Coca-Cola, the exclusive soft drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Play switched brilliantly for Mo Espinosa. Taking on Dimmick. And just a little beyond the goal scorer Hernandez on that cutback. Now Gomez, the new signee. Hernandez darted across. And ultimately the chance goes begging. Looked like Gomez could have had a hit, as could Kraft. Neither ultimately gets the opportunity. Hernandez once more. Looking towards Espinosa. And ultimately it goes the other way. half-hearted penalty appeals from everyone involved. And Espinosa seems to be dealing with the lingering effects of that challenge. Enticing delivery on the low cross. It seemed like pretty incidental contact between Dimmick and Espinosa, and both went shin to shin on it. That's a painful one.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. There's been a substitution for the
Chattanooga making their fourth change. It'll be Siobhan Marsh replacing Christian Enriquez in a like-for-like swap. Enriquez had his moments. Siobhan Marsh is a player who's had a couple big moments this season for Chattanooga. He's got a pair of goals. Scored against Madison earlier this month. Also scored the first equalizer of that 3-3 draw against Union Omaha last month as well. Here's a man who's had numerous big moments throughout his Charlotte career. Looks for Oberton in a tussle with Lombardi, and it'll go back to the Red Wolves. Coach Jimmy Weekly said in his pre-match interview he was pleased with how his side has responded. Here tonight, irrespective of how these final 16 minutes and change unfold, he's got to be pleased with the fight his side has shown. Managed to pull a goal back. They've certainly looked the more likely of the two sides to score a hypothetical fourth in this contest. As Luis Alvarez will replace Avion Flanagan. Alvarez more known for his work as a center midfielder. Maybe playing out of position a little bit here. He'll receive his first touch here. He's featured in every match this season off the bench. Still very young as well, a lot of potential to become a regular in this independent side. This is Johnson. Trying to pick out space against Riley Kraft. Now Ngaha cuts back for Oberton. And it falls for Bennett, who just scuffed it. One more change on the way for Charlotte. It looks like Hector Acosta will replace Ryan JJ in what would be unquestionably a defensive move. And that's exactly what will transpire. JJ's first start marked by a goal. Be replaced by the reserve fullback Acosta. Both teams with one change remaining. And that's certainly an aggressive challenge from Gomez. And it's a red. Gomez giving his marching orders. He certainly went studs up. You see here, takes the heavy touch, slides in, Catches the upper shin of Clay Dimmick, and oh boy. The new signing in his Chattanooga debut will be dismissed. It's the first red card either of these two sides have been issued all year. And if Chattanooga hopes to complete the comeback, they'll have to do it a man down. We'll show it one more time here. Gomez takes the heavy touch. He does go studs up. It's in pursuit of the ball. It certainly is a yellow, borderline red at a bare minimum. And the youngster ultimately sees the latter color on that card. And the home side, as they chase this match, have another disadvantageous factor to battle to do so. And Jimmy Weekly certainly seems baffled. And he's looking for an explanation from the fourth official. Well, add Jimmy Weekly to the list of names in the book. Clearly something he said was not to the liking of Alexander Zeliaskov. You see him very animated there. Well, you can read his lips. Free kick will come for Charlotte after the prolonged stoppage. Approaching the 80-minute mark, Chattanooga looked like they had their wind in their sails a bit. Now after Omar Gomez's straight red, they've got some extra work to do if they hope to climb back from what was a 2-0 deficit. Here is Luis Alvarez.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A red card and match ejection has been issued by the referee to Chattanooga Red Wolves player number 5, Mikhail Williams, in the 80th minute of the game.
And Mikhail Williams also given a red. Ball forward for Espinosa. And whistle ultimately goes against him. Well, this match has certainly taken an unexpected turn as Chattanooga makes their final change. It's Mael Malongo in place of the striker Ropapa Mensah. So in the midst of all that chaos, Mikhail Williams was also sent off. So Chattanooga's now down to 9 men. We did not see what transpired with Williams. Gomez, of course, went studs up. Something transpired off the ball after that. So Chattanooga 2 men down as they chase this match. And now acres of space for Alvarez. Back across for Dimmick. Charlotte with numbers, Alvarez. The red card on Mikhail Williams was due to misconduct, according to our sources here. 2 red cards in as many minutes for Chattanooga Red Wolves. And the fans still grappling with that news. It was a match that had been relatively clean and straightforward up until that challenge. Since then, everything's gone off the rails, and both coaches awaiting explanations. Well, Mike Jeffries and Jimmy Weekly seem on relatively good terms. And now the stoppage is both coaches look to sort everything out. Well, Chattanooga fans, on the bright side, you'll probably get 7+ minutes of stoppage time at this rate. This match has been out of a traditional rhythm since Gomez's red in the 76th. As we wait for the action to resume, let's take a look at what's at stake here. For Chattanooga, they're looking to avoid having their drought go to 1 win in 9 matches. It would be a 3rd consecutive defeat and a 2nd straight defeat to begin Jimmy Weekly's 2nd interim head coaching stint. For Charlotte, they're hoping to notch their 4th win in the last 5 matches, and depending on results elsewhere, 3 points tonight could take them top of the league for the first time all season. Of course, North Carolina does have a match in hand, but they're not playing tonight. Here is Espinosa. And Bennett dragged down by Cardona. With each 50-50 whistle that goes against the boys in red, I think fans start to see red in this stadium. It has been a tense atmosphere these last 10 minutes.
This replay is brought to you by Rodriguez Family Dentistry, the official dentistry for the Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Here's Alvarez and Johnson. Entering the final 5 minutes of normal time, but remember, there will almost certainly be 5+ added on top of that. Sis cuts back for Dimmick. May have been caught between 2 minds. Good build-up here. Acosta linking with Sis. And Dimmick tried to chip that towards the far post. It's a little too much on it. Body Armor is the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. The USL on ESPN continues as the summer heats up. Memphis 901 FC and Aaron Malloy head to the Valley of the Sun to face Manuel Arteaga and Phoenix Rising FC. It's Phoenix Rising FC and Memphis 901 FC, Saturday, July 1st at 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Into the closing stages of this one, and here's Omar Sis. Charlotte looking for the final blow, and Bennett denied by Aviles. Great stop by the 24-year-old to keep Chattanooga within striking distance. Now Marsh turns on the afterburners. Here's another look at this. More great link-up play. Charlotte fueled by the two-player advantage. And Bennett just launches it right at Aviles. Great opportunity. Bennett had the time and space. Couldn't quite pick out the far corner. Kraft picks up the loose change. Finds the goal scorer, Hernandez. Bundled over just inside the area. And ultimately just out for a goal kick. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including the return of USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern starting June 13th. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Here is Luis Alvarez, the substitute. Finds Clay Dimmick, and he hits the side netting. Charlotte has carved out numerous opportunities to kill the match off since the double red card to Omar Gomez and Mikhail Williams. Carlos Aviles and the Chattanooga back line have held tough so far. Acosta for Bennett. Once again, no real issue for the man between the sticks. It's been opportunity after opportunity for the visitors. But so far lacking that final polish in front of goal. Oberton once again finds Alvarez. And Gaha. Read well by Paoli. Well, Chattanooga fans, it will be 10 minutes of added time, so this game will go to at least the century mark. So despite being 2 men down, perhaps one moment of magic could change the trajectory of this one. Oberton makes his way to the byline, finds Ngaha. Now Omar Sis! Lombardi snuffs it out. And Hernandez looks to launch a counter.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Well, there you go. Double-digit minutes of stoppage time as Chattanooga looks for what at this point would probably be a shock equalizer. Espinosa dragged down, now Malongo. Chattanooga has numbers in support. Mo Espinosa. Ushered over to Kraft. Looks for Marsh. And Bennett has room to roam. Still Bennett. Ultimately a decisive challenge from Lombardi. Chattanooga, over this recent stretch, has logged just 4 points in the last 8 matches. This has been their most spirited performance in the last few weeks. But as of now, they're still in line to come up empty-handed as we take another look at this challenge from Lombardi. A little bit of contact, but not enough to draw the ire of the official.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A caution has been issued by the referee to Charlotte Independence player, number 17.
Clay Dimmick now will be added to the book.
30th minute of the game. This yellow card is presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Designating a server
Another yellow card presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. One of very few Independence players to be booked tonight, especially when you compare it to Chattanooga. Alvarez takes his time on the left flank. Here comes Siobhan Marsh. He'll take the contact from Johnson. Since the 2 red cards, it seems like this match has lacked organization both ways. For Chattanooga, almost by necessity. Can't mark one-on-one when you're down 2 men. Meanwhile, for Charlotte, it's just been about trying to find the dagger against the 9 men. Kraft's cross finds Espinosa's feet, but he got caught flat-footed. Well, if you're just joining us and wondering about the 10 minutes of added time, this match has had a little bit of everything. Joel Johnson opened the scoring in the 15th minute, and then the advantage was doubled by the new signing Ryan JJ. But Pedro Hernandez fired back in the 61st, and then 2 red cards came for Chattanooga 16 minutes later. And that's where we stand after a prolonged stoppage, heightened on the minutes on the back end. Spielman knocks it over to Acosta. Now a little game of keep away for Charlotte. It's an Independent side that still needs to see this one out, but has built its trade all year on its ability to keep chances off goal, and when the ball finds its way into the 18, Austin Pax usually had an answer. So far, the counters for Chattanooga haven't quite had the numbers required to really trouble the Charlotte back line. Alvarez tries, right off the bar. Now Bennett on the follow-up, still Bennett, and cleared off the line by Cardona. Chattanooga still with a chance. And once again, the visitors just struggling to land that decisive blow. Hernandez in a tussle with Bennett, and Alvarez comes away with it. Alvarez to the byline. It's back for Dimmick. Paoli and Gaha. This has been a Herculean effort by Chattanooga defensively. But now they need some sort of break the other way. Here's the first chance. Alvarez tries from afar, off the bar, and then Corey Bennett looks like he had the dagger. Aviles off his line, Cardona has other ideas. And now Chattanooga with numbers forward. Here's Marsh. Siobhan Marsh, one-on-one, and he finishes! It's a stunner from Chattanooga in stoppage time. The Red Wolves level. Unbelievable scenes here from CHI Memorial Stadium. Siobhan Marsh in line to be the hero. Chattanooga, 2 men down A scuffed clearance from Shylum Duty. No one closes down Marsh. A fortunate deflection, and he's through to slot it beyond Austin Pack. Marsh gets a yellow for celebrating. I don't think he'll care too much. He has just leveled the scoreline with 3 minutes remaining in stoppage time. Chaos here from Chattanooga. And after Charlotte seemingly had 10 chances to land the death blow, they've been unable to do so. It's just the third time anyone has scored multiple goals against the Independents all year. And it has come in the craziest of scenarios. Now the Independents with an opportunity from the corner flag. And suddenly, Chattanooga can park numbers behind the ball.
Stand up and make some noise, Red Wolves fans. This fourth corner kick is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, official sponsor of the Chattanooga.
Alvarez to take the outswinger. 90 seconds remaining here in added time. Corner cleared over to Marsh. And Alvarez in the book for some time-wasting antics.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. The referee has issued a caution to Charlotte Independence player number 14, Luis Alvarez. This yellow card is presented by
Luis Alvarez, the 21-year-old native of Honduras, in the book. As we approach the final 30 seconds of an allocated 10 minutes of stoppage time. Charlotte still hunting that winner. Had so many opportunities to make it 3-1, but Chattanooga ultimately the team that hit back. And Gaha's cross. Beyond Johnson, and out for a goal kick. Jimmy Weekly spoke so much about the response of his squad. Here tonight, unbelievable fight demonstrated by the Red Wolves. The final whistle sounds, and Chattanooga Red Wolves have salvaged an improbable point here from CHI Memorial Stadium. Siobhan Marsh, that man on your screen, the hero in second half stoppage time. He's your Timbercraft Whiskey man of the match. As the home side narrowly avoids a third straight defeat. Charlotte took a 2-0 lead into the break. Pedro Hernandez pulled one back. And after going down to 9 men, Siobhan Marsh finds the equalizer. And now let's take a look at the save of the match. It came in the first half. A long ball through for Joel Johnson, who took it down well with the score 1-0. And Buyu darted the ball across, and it was a terrific save by Aviles to, at that point, keep Chattanooga within a goal. And it proved pretty crucial as Chattanooga Red Wolves come from behind down to 9 men to secure a 2-2 draw on their home turf. We're going to step aside here, full time from CHI Memorial Stadium. The points shared here from Chattanooga. We'll be back with stats and highlights when we return.
Future is in these foothills. The world's fastest internet from EPB is in homes from Hickson to Highland Park. In classrooms from East Lake to East Brainerd. and in reach of those striving to learn more, be more, achieve more. The future is here with fiber optic speeds up to 25 gigs, only from EPB.
I need to try it first.
I drink and drive all the time.
Sir, you've been in a serious crash. I need you to hang on, okay?
What's your name? So where you are right now?
I need to try it first.
Back here from CHI Memorial Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where the two sides share the spoils in a 4-goal thriller. Walefi and company celebrating with the Chattanooga faithful as the Red Wolves, despite going 2 men down, come back from a cool 2-goal deficit to preserve a point at home. And let's take a look at the highlights from what wound up being an instant classic here from Chattanooga. It began in the 15th minute. Charlotte off to a 5-star start on the counter. Joel Johnson, unbelievable finish after the terrific threaded through ball from Miguel Ibarra. As you see him just directing traffic on the counter, nobody closes down the 30-year-old, and the Independence's all-time appearances leader opened the scoring. Then in the 39th, Charlotte doubled their advantage. It came from a Chattanooga corner. Ball punched out by Austin Pack, and it found its way to Avion Flanagan, who did the rest. Turned on the afterburners, surged past Riley Kraft and company, and then just waited for the perfect moment. The new signing, Ryan JJ in support, doubles Charlotte's lead in the 39th. That's where we stood at halftime. But then the substitute, Pedro Hernandez, nobody picks him up after play switches. He pulls Chattanooga back within 1. Unbelievable cross from Riley Kraft, who was so involved throughout the night. And Hernandez, the youngster, made it an intriguing affair. And then in the 96th, with Chattanooga 2 men down, Siobhan Marsh, through traffic, slots it into the bottom left corner. Perhaps the craziest, most well-deserved light show in Red Wolves history. And Marsh with his 3rd of the year as Chattanooga overcomes a 2-man, 2-human deficit to level the scoreline late. Here's another look at it. A moment for the history books for the Red Wolves. And here is a look at the stats of a match that went completely haywire. The full-time stats presented by Smart Bank. Charlotte, more shots on target. Chattanooga, the bulk of possession despite being 2 men down for the final 15 minutes. Just a haywire affair. Charlotte, a large chunk of those shots coming when they were 2 men up, unable to find that elusive 3rd goal. And Chattanooga, it was the final shot that mattered. Siobhan Marsh into the back of the net to allow the Red Wolves to come back from 2 behind. And that is where we stand after 90 minutes and change. An unbelievable contest from Chattanooga tonight. So for Sam Goldfarb, our tremendous crew on ESPN+, we'd like to thank you for joining us. A 4-goal thriller in Chattanooga. The Red Wolves come from behind to secure a point at home and avoid a 3rd consecutive defeat. Thank you for joining us tonight. Have a good night, everyone.
Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.